and welcome back to Kingpin Radio. I appreciate you showing up. You've been there time and time again, and there you are again. I appreciate it. Just like I promised you before, Stan the Man Hughes is to my right. He's my new guy. He's going to be here. Now, Robbie Smith, he's coming back. Elvis is not gone for good. Elvis is on a mission today. We'll tell you more about that later. To my left, I got my bodyguard. Stan, tell him about this man.
Before we go into the bodyguard, and you call Robbie Elvis, he's Elvis. Give me the Elvis.
Okay.
The reason I'm asking is because he looks a lot like somebody else to me.
Now I know where you're going with this.
Well, I'm just saying, he does. He's the identical twin, or the long-lost twin of that guy. And I'm just curious where the Elvis comes in.
Well,
can he sing?
He cannot sing, trust me. Elvis, Robbie, was washing cars behind the dealership. And we usually wait towards the end of the show before we get into motivation, but we're going to get right to it since Stan the Man brought it up.
Well, I saw that edition of Kingpin Radio.
Elvis was Robbie. He was Robbie at the time. He was washing cars back there. He was making minimum wage. He was making the most. He had some difficulty in his life. His mom died. About a year later, his dad died. And right along in that same time, maybe a month or so later, Robbie will have to give us the exact time frames. He developed H1N1, which is the swine flu.
Wow.
He almost died. He woke up and his loved ones were gone.
He's the only person I've ever known that's had the swine flu.
Yep, and me too. And he lived through it. It almost could. He was on life support for a long time. He had a wonderful wife though that stuck by his side through it all. She got him a job here at Coffee Chrysler washing cars. He washed cars back there for 6 months, and one day he finally said, "Hey man, I want to sell cars." And I said, "Well, come on up front, let's rock and roll." He said, "Is that all I had to do?" I said, "Well, you had to get my attention." That was the point of that.
Yeah.
So my show is all about getting attention. But the Elvis part of that, he was a cool dude, man. He wore sunglasses back there. And we have a guy who's been here for 25 years, Glenn Cooper. Glenn would come in the showroom and say, "Billy, what's Elvis doing today? What's Elvis doing?" Because he wore his sunglasses inside. He was
That's where it came from.
All right. So, tell him about my bodyguard.
Listen, the guy around these parts, he needs no introduction.
Right.
But now that we're all over, we're everywhere. We're tweeting,
We tweet, we flicker, YouTube,
twerking. This guy knows a little bit.
He knows about twerk. He lit up when we said
He laughed, and he laughed loud. It was a belly laugh.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is Anthony White, a.k.a. Ant White, and I'm going to tell you what he is. He's an influence in these parts. He's one of the most influential people that I know and that I've ever met, and he had a big influence on me in the last 4 or 5 years, and a career change for me. But he coaches with me, and kids love this guy. They run through walls for this guy, and that's when we get to start talking about this fitness part of it. I guarantee you those people do whatever he tells them, and he motivates them. He is one of the best motivators I have ever seen, and I'm assuming that's why Kingpin has him here.
That's exactly
For his
right.
motivational skills. I don't know.
I know you're tired of hearing me. You're tired of hearing Stan. So
Really? No.
They are tired, Stan.
Okay.
So I'm gonna introduce you to Ant right here. I call him Ant. Anthony White's his name. And Anthony, tell us, what's your project? What are you doing right now?
My project right now, I got about 60 ladies that I'm training, and with those 60 ladies, I can say I got a 85% that has went on to lose at least 20-25 pounds.
Awesome.
You get what I'm saying? And what I do, I take them through high intense training, and you know what I'm saying? I just push them and push them and push them and push them, And then, like Stan was saying, I also got a mentoring group at the school program. I got 17 kids, Right Track Mentoring. I got 17 kids that, you know what I'm saying, they in school. My goal with them is, to reduce disciplinary referrals and get their GPA up. You get what I'm saying? And trying to push them to the next level. We have did, 3 college visits to FSU. I took them to the University of Florida. We went to Valdosta State. And the 22nd of this month, we're going to a museum over there in Thomasville, the Jack Hatley Museum.
Okay, let me talk about your kids for a minute. I call them your kids. What's the name of your program?
Right Track Mentoring.
Right Track Mentoring. I'll tell you more about how you can help and how you can be a part of a great program. Now, these kids, they're not your A class, straight A students with with a mom and a dad who are there for them. Is that right?
You're right.
Tell
I
us.
come from a broken family where it's mostly the mom that's there, and all these kids need is just a little tough love and a little nudge that the dad is supposed to be there to give.
Right.
But under the circumstances, sometimes they don't turn out to be the perfect family. So the mom tries to do it. So where I comes in, I try to, put my 15% in there.
Right.
That's 10 for the dad and 5 for me.
I've seen
And try to,
I've seen
push
tough love. This guy, and he's legit when he tells you tough love.
Absolutely.
He's on the right track, and that's a great name because he will put him there and that's what he does. I've seen it happen.
And Anthony is still, it's his nature. He's still being very modest with you. We're talking about some troubled kids. We're talking about some kids with some real problems. We're talking about some kids that I would have already given up on. But you know what? And actually about 99% of the people would give up on him. People have already given up on him. And when I heard Anthony was doing this, it inspired me. I said, you're on the right track, man. And what a wonderful name, Right Track. But Anthony, I'm concerned. You've been doing this for a while now, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Are you seeing any positive change out of these kids?
Yes. Right now, like 17 kids, when we got them, which was around Thanksgiving, a little bit before Thanksgiving, our average now went up from like a 77 to like an 89.7 with the kids.
Making it happen. Making it happen.
And that's the numbers. The numbers don't lie.
That's
and if
right.
you get call me back, I can show you the numbers. But
On a lighter note, not wanting to take anything away from Right Track Mentoring, but the motivational part of it with the fitness part too. The fact that what do you call your fitness trainer?
Team Fit.
Team Fit.
Mm-hmm.
And all the women that are out there watching, because I know there's some Kingpin Radio followers that are females. When you said you got 60 women,
Mm-hmm.
your numbers are going up.
Yep.
They're looking at you on TV and they're going, look at that good looking guy. His numbers are going through the roof right here. I guarantee you, going through the roof.
Well, I've had the pleasure, I've had the honor of working out with this guy and being around him. I've trained MMA before. I've trained MMA with this guy, and when you train with a very intense guy, you're going to do one of two things: you're going to quit or you're going to get better. And he has a way. Stan nailed it when he said influence. He has a way of not letting you quit. He's going to motivate you. You're going to feel like quitting, but you're not going to quit because you're not going to want to let him down. The man brings inspiration. The man brings influence. John C. Maxwell, that's an author that I read a lot of books from. He is an expert on leadership. He says leadership, plain and simple, is if you can influence people or not. So without a doubt, you're looking at a leader right here. I'm glad to call him a friend. I'm glad to call him my bodyguard. And I'm glad to be a part of the Right Track Mentoring Program. I'm going to see what I can do to help the program. I'm going to ask you to see what you can do. We like to get attention to things that matter. We like to give you something to help you be a better person. We like to entertain you. Sometimes we fail at that, but we like to educate you. And I'm going to ask you to be a part of this program. And if you're somebody who is in the Douglas, Georgia area and you'd like to get fit, you know how to do it. Find me on Billy W. Merritt on Twitter or my Facebook page, Billy Merritt. Pretty soon you're going to be able to get on Stan Hughes at Twitter, and I'm working on Anthony as well. All right, real quick, let me see if we can go somewhere else with this, Anthony. With your Team Fit and with your kids, I mean, you're not scared of a challenge.
No, sir.
And when
He's not scared of anything.
No, he's not scared.
I promise you.
Now, when you set your mind on something, I've seen the laser beam focus that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but can you help me, or maybe help this guy that's watching right here, this girl? Can you help her when she faces a difficult situation and people start talking? You know they talk, Stan. This is small town USA.
We know it for sure.
Have you experienced that, first of all?
We experienced that, and I just went through a little situation at the previous gym I was at, and you know what I'm saying. I'm not scared to put the name out there. I was working out at Better Bodies gym. Okay, I bought publicity. I really put Better Bodies on the map. When I say I put Better Bodies on the map, when I went to the owner, I said, I'm gonna get you about 50 people in here. Okay, he said, good. So the numbers went up just like that. More people. I was putting free advertisement out on Facebook, Better bodies, better bodies. We got people that was in the armed services coming home from Iraq, Afghanistan. They asking before they get home, where's a good place to work out? Better bodies. So as my numbers grew in there, I had a battle ropes class in there. As my numbers grew, the chatter started. All right, the chatter, where I'm from, we call it haters.
That's right.
You
That's
get
what
what
it
I'm
is. Y'all
saying?
know about haters.
Yeah,
We keep
And
getting
when the chatter started, you know, I eliminated myself. I didn't run from the challenge because, you know, that challenge was a little minor challenge. I didn't run from it, but I eliminated myself from it. And I went across the street, People Z, that's where I'm at now. And they are
Diagonally? Directly?
dissecting.
Defective.
Yeah, they like they don't want that want no more. They want what's over there.
There
So
you
they're
go.
coming across the People Z, and I told the lady today the numbers are going up, and she said they are.
That's a sign of leadership, Stan. I mean, you've seen it. You've seen it in sports. You've seen it in careers. You've seen it, you know, on teams.
When it works, hater is the right word. There are people gonna hate, the jealousy starts when it's working, but you know what? You can't stop it. It's like that. It's like one of your other shows. When you hit delete on one, you get 10 more.
That's right.
When he's just gonna keep climbing, keep
Right.
growing, and that's just the way it works.
That's exactly right. And I'm going to do what I can do to help this man because he's helping children. He's helping women who struggle with weight loss and men. But you know, let's face it, there's a lot of women out there, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to get in shape. It's a daunting task, man. It's tough. Trust me, I
I tell
know.
you, it's tough for guys too.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Now, when you take a woman who's struggling and needs some help, she's, you know, you got to be careful. They can get you. And this man's, he's inspiring them to change. He's taking these kids and he's helping them. He's making a difference. That's what the Kingpin Radio show is all about. We want to help people. We want to help you. So I hope these words of inspiration can help you. And I'm going to tell you, find me on Facebook. Find me on Twitter and ask me about Right Track. I'm going to direct you to the right path so that you can be a part of it. They need things. A lot of things can be solved with money. Put your money where your mouth is. Call me and ask me where you can find the guy where you can help somebody. You volunteer. Would you turn down any volunteer work?
I won't turn nothing down but my collar.
I like it. I like it. Well, I appreciate you coming on, brother. You're
Yes,
doing
sir.
great things for this community, and I'm going to continue to support the guy. Stan the Man Hughes, any parting words, and you can close us out.
Listen, Kingpin Radio is doing big things. We, like you say, we're trying to help. You're trying to help. And with people like Anthony White, a.k.a. Amp, I call him Amp. He calls him Amp. I call him Amp. But you know what? It don't get any better than what you see right here at Kingpin Radio.
Thank you, guys. All right.